I think it's time to talk cars. Since Robbie's not here, Rich, we can talk cars. We can talk trucks. She's not going to stop and roll her eyes at us.
No, that's fine. I like cars.
I know.
I like cars.
But we've got somebody. Oh, no, Trixie's doing it. Now she's going to come in here and smack us. But
that's fine.
I'll take the hit for you, Rich. Since you're not here. I'll take you. What's wrong, Randall? You're good? All right, let's go to the phones and bring on Michael, and I believe it's McHale. Is that correct, sir?
That's right. That's right. Good morning.
And you are from Rivian Motor Vehicles, correct?
Rivian, just Rivian. Yes, Rivian.
Just Rivian. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So you guys have started the car show's in town here. I don't know if you know that I'm sorry, Rich. The auto show is here in Chicago.
That's the 2019 auto show.
And are you guys in that this year or not?
We're not on the floor, but I was just there yesterday. So I was walking the floors of McCormick Place just yesterday.
So how many electric vehicles did you see there?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm not sure if a couple of the other major players were there. I'm not sure if Tesla were there. I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most manufacturers now are launching some kind of electric vehicle, and I think it's worth thinking about that in terms of electric vehicles don't compete with each other as much as they compete with the vehicles in the segment in which they're launched. So if we're launching an SUV, then our SUV is going to compete against other SUVs, and if we launch a pickup truck, our pickup truck is going to compete against other pickup trucks.
Sure.
So really, so it doesn't. So you don't. So it doesn't really matter that one is all electric and one might be a hybrid and one might just be fossil fuel burning. So, but your marketing says that it's really just to do with the truck itself, or the car, or the SUV.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the end that's what will happen, and I think right now, as the technology is so new, people are very aware of it, and there are, of course, early adopters who want the latest and greatest and newest. And so they get drawn to things electric. And let's say they own a Tesla already, and they like electric drive. They're a convert, which tends to happen. And then they're looking for a pickup truck. Well, then of course they'll look at us because, they're very comfortable with the technology, and Tesla doesn't sell a pickup truck, and we will. So that's our space. So they like the brand. But over time, people, it's like saying, well, there's a difference between petrol and diesel.
Right.
Well, yeah. But when you're shopping, you buy the truck first, and then you decide what kind of gas you want.
Right. What kind of drive line you want in it. And
a lot of times that depends on what you do. I mean, the majority of pickup trucks on the road today, and I mean, think about it. Everybody's scrapping sedans. Yes. Nobody wants a sedan or a coupe. Yep. Everybody wants an SUV. So that said, pickup trucks, mine is basically no longer a work truck. And I want an all-electric, but nobody's building it yet. You know what I mean? I'm on a wait list with Ron on another vehicle, and it's actually a hybrid, but it's 90% electric. But no, I mean, it's exciting to see it come out, and you're not going to hit production until like 2020.
That's right. That's right. We're just setting up now. And, we're building cars in Illinois. Our factory is, if you know the old Mitsubishi factory.
Yeah.
In Bloomington Normal. Yeah, that place was available and very good condition. And we took a look at it, and we thought it would suit us just fine. It's a great place to be. A lot of skilled workers down there too.
Yeah,
they were building cars for a long time there. They know how to do it. So we thought we'd take a look at that and pick that place up. And we're just in the process now of refurbishing it and getting it ready for production.
Okay, so instead of doing what Tesla comes out and says, okay, we're going to build a vehicle where only a few people are buying, sedans like that. People don't buy sedans. The best-selling vehicle is a pickup truck. So you guys decided, why should we sell to the smallest market? Why don't we sell to the largest market? That kind of seems like what you guys were thinking when you did this.
Yeah, it kind of is. And it's also, when we were looking at other electric makers, I think because the technology came out, and the initial advantage of the technology, of course, is instant torque. So things are very quick when they're made with an electric drive. And so that really leans itself to sports cars. So when you see the first, electric vehicles coming out, they were sports cars. Tesla and Faraday and Karma and all those people were making sports cars, which is great because, boy, I bet you remember 10 years before that, electric cars were slow. They were golf carts. That's what you went
Right.
to the golf course in, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's an electric thing. And at least Tesla and those guys proved that electric can be fast.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So we came along and said, well, look, there's all these people in this space here. We don't need to be in that space. There's a better space for us. And we looked around and we saw there was nobody making electric pickup trucks and nobody making big SUVs. So we said, all right, well, let's do that. But along the way, we have to prove another few things are not true either. You can get our truck wet. It weighs up to 3 feet. Battery's fully submersible. So if you're crossing a ford in a stream in our pickup truck or our SUV, it's no problem at all. So you can get them wet.
Take it
You can
washed
get
away.
them dirty.
Battery's good, but you got washed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what is it? At 3 feet, it starts to float.
At 3 feet, yeah, you've been doing your homework. There's a secondary story in that. Because there's no engine in the vehicle, we could have made the vehicle look like anything we wanted it to, but we wanted to keep those classic truck proportions. People know what a truck is.
Right.
They know what it looks like. They get the general proportions. So we kept those proportions, There's an engine bay and a cabin and a bed.
Right.
Well, there's nothing in the engine bay because the engine bay is now storage.
Well,
it's really, really useful.
Well, and you've got the lovely pass-through behind the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a pass-through underneath the vehicle where the running gear used to be. So that's also storage, which is great.
Right.
But what that also means is the vehicle carries lots of air around with it, which doesn't weigh much, and that's good too, until you get into water. And then it does float a little bit. So 3 feet is really the maximum. We're saying to people, anything over that, you might want to ballast the car down a little bit.
That's where
I feel a Grand Tour episode coming up.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Well,
3 feet 6 inches of water.
And then all of a sudden, they're bolting a Johnson to the tailgate, and off they go.
Right. So it's funny because I know
you get them wet.
Yeah. Go ahead, Michael.
Okay. Yeah. So the second thing is now you can get them wet. And then we wanted to make sure people understood you could get them dirty. So if you go back to the old, Series 1 Range Rovers, where they were wiped down interiors, and you could hose them down. I don't know if you remember that. I think the Jeeps were similar too.
Yep.
So we're not quite there, but we're not far away. The idea of the interior is it's not the carpeted interior. It's a wiped down interior. It's a harder wearing material called Chilwich. And now this is a really premium car. This is a car that will compete with Range Rover and compete with the higher end pickups and SUVs. But we wanted to make sure you could get it clean again, get it dirty, get it clean again. So that's the third thing we wanted to disprove. And so that's our space, is to prove that wetness, that dirtiness, that use thing in a space that electric vehicles hadn't been up till now.
Huh. Nice.
That's cool. So, okay, and we're talking to Michael McHale, and you are from Rivian. You guys have a pickup truck out, and also, are you building the SUV at the same time? And is that on the same platform?
Yeah.
So you're
the same platform.
Okay, so so you're gonna be making the same wheelbase, same engine stuff. You're just dropping a different body on it then.
No engine.
The wheelbase is slightly different. There's a few inches difference between the two, mainly for packaging, but it's the same thing. And the beauty of our technology is it's really a skateboard. So if you think of, like a regular skateboard, right? So that's the battery pack. The skateboard, the thing you put your foot on, that's the battery pack.
Okay.
And there's a wheel at each corner, and that's the skateboard. So that's a rolling chassis, if you like, with all the bits on it. And if we put an SUV on top of it, that's great. If we put a pickup truck on top of it, that's great.
Okay.
What it also means is it's a very flexible chassis length. We can just alter the length of the chassis by taking battery packs out.
Okay, hang on a second, Michael. We got to do
Michael, hang on. We got to take a break here.
We got to take a break. Hang on a second.
This is a short one.
Mighty House will return.
Bolt. Still there, Michael? Yeah. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there. Okay. Got it.
So,
okay. We're
on a commercial break, but you're still live on Facebook, so no bloody swearing.
And I thought it was isn't that the boot? The front, isn't that the boot? What is that called? I like
in
the UK.
In England, the rear is the boot.
Oh, and then what's the front?
The front is
the bonnet.
It's the bonnet.
Yes,
the
bonnet.
Boot and the bonnet. There you go. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
So in the bonnet, though, you've got more storage there, right?
Yeah, 330 cubic inches of space. It's really neat. It's a real surprise to people. They lift up the hood, and there is this really nicely lined and sealed, which is important too, space to put your stuff. Is lockable. Because, you're in a pickup truck, there's nowhere to put your stuff.
Sure.
No, we buy a truck, then we have to go buy a hard tonneau cover to try and lock our stuff up.
Right. We have a powered tonneau cover that's fully sealed too.
Oh,
so
sweet.
You can get that thing wet and everything inside stays dry. But the pass-through underneath, underneath the rear seats, that's terrific. You can throw golf bags or, you can throw
well, that's what it reminded me of.
Or buggies.
Yeah, well, it's like Duesenberg's had that.
Remember
right?
the old,
Right,
all
yes, exactly.
the old cars used to have the little club compartment like that. So,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly right.
20 seconds.
All right, we're coming back, and we'll wrap up in this next segment there, Michael. I appreciate your time. Hang on.
I have 2 tough questions for you when we get back
Yes.
on.
Oh, boy.
No, nothing horrible.
It's all good, brother.
Lung, pediatric, and prostate. Better precision, better recovery, better treatments. Go to ChicagoProtonCenter.com for more information.
That sound you hear is my time machine letting me know it's time to return to our own world.
This is Your Talk, WCGO.
Hang on.
See, I work construction. I build things. I don't know if y'all realize the pressure a man like me's got on him.
This is Mighty House.
You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just look for Mighty House Home Improvement Show. And our Twitter handle is @Mighty House. You can also give us a call on the Mr. Floor helpline. It's 877-711-5611, and you will have a chance to win your choice of Mr. Floor cleaning products. They're all non-toxic and environmentally safe, and you can learn more at MrFloor.com. And we're also, everybody that calls in today and asks a question, you will win, or you will get a gift certificate to the Firehouse Grill here in Evanston. It's a great place for lunch and or dinner, and they've got a lot of great beers on tap there. So give us a call, 877-711-5611. And if you've got a question for Michael McHale from Rivian, he's also on the line. And we're talking to Michael today about the Rivian pickup truck and the SUV that they're coming out with in 2020. It's going to be built here in Illinois, just south of Chicago. So it's a hometown vehicle. That's pretty cool. And Michael, is this thing all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive? What's that setup there?
Yeah, it's all of those things because it is powered by 4 motors. So each wheel has its own motor, and they are held in board of the wheels. We don't like motors in the wheels because that's kind of heavy.
Sure.
And they're vulnerable out there. So we have put them inboard. We've bolted them together, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. They don't talk to each other mechanically. But they drive each wheel independently. So you can have all-wheel drive. You can have 3 wheels going forwards, 1 wheel going backwards. That's a lot of fun. And if you, right?
What?
If you're rock rolling, you can inch by inch 2 wheels forward and keep the other 2, stationary. It's a beautiful level of control. We call it quad motor all-wheel drive.
Wow.
So the only other thing you need now is the little switch on the dash so you can do the crab thing and drive diagonally, which is damn convenient for parking.
Yeah, we will have a button that's called. I'll have to come back to that. That's just slipped my mind. Keep going.
Okay. So wow. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Tank steer. So it's a button you can press and the vehicle spins in its own space. It's cool.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Oh, it spins in its own space. That's bizarre.
That's sweet. So we were talking during the break there, and for everybody on the air, this also has let me see if I get this right. It's got the bonnet and in the front where you can put more stuff. Normally there's an engine there, but in this case with the Rivian, you've just got a trunk up front.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. And that was, you said that was sealed, so you can put stuff in there.
And lockable. Right?
Lockable. Now, is the bed, can I throw a 4x8 sheet of plywood in the bed?
Yeah, that's a common question we get asked on this stuff. Our bed is slightly shorter than what was typical because we thought that the storage underneath the cab was equally as important. So we put both of those in there. It has to be a little sacrifice, but there's plenty of room in the bed. So the plywood can go in. It might hang over the end a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that's okay. It does on my new one too.
That's not
because it's a toy truck. It's not a truck.
That's right. Rich went out. He got rid of his man truck, and now he's got a boys truck. So
right.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're making that fairly clear that this is not a construction machine. This is a car for a family to go and enjoy the weekend in.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's still a practical vehicle. I mean, with a 400-mile range on a charge, that's pretty amazing. But, I mean, you can still go run around, do a bunch of stuff, and it's still light hauling.
Right.
It's not, you're right, it's not something I would consider that I'm going to be putting a roof load on it.
Yeah, it's got a 1760 payload and it's got 11,000 pound-feet of torque for towing, which is just ridiculous because that's what electricity can do for you.
Right.
Sure.
In the end, you need the towing is restricted by the stiffness of the body.
Sure.
And we could make it tow even more, making the body even stiffer, but then you're adding even more weight. So you've got to find a reasonable level.
Okay.
Towing is great in terms of capability. And it'll get your work done for you. But like I say, if you're a construction company hiring a fleet of 100 F-150s to, build a new housing development,
sure,
go buy them.
Oh, okay. All right. So,
well, that actually leads into one of the thoughts I had because Ford was announcing last week how they were going to commit to an all-electric truck. And with the success of the sales of Ford F-150s, I was like, it makes me concerned for you. Like, you need to get to market and build that market. But you're actually saying, you already said you're only going to compete against trucks and be fine anyway. So,
well, and I stopped at the Ford dealer and I asked them about it, and they go, we don't know anything. So the Ford dealers don't even know anything about it. So,
well, that's because they're the dealer.
Yeah, I did notice that Ford made that announcement shortly after we made ours. Actually,
sure, but, exactly.
But that's for another day.
Yeah,
and no one gets a free run at everything forever. And if you're the only brand in the market, maybe there's a good reason why you're the only brand in the market.
Yeah.
Right.
In the market,
Yeah,
And if you're only person selling ice cream in January, there's probably a reason.
Yeah.
So Ron, do you want to bring up the 800-pound gorilla in the room, or do I?
Yeah. So Michael McHale from Rivian Motors. Now you're building the pickup truck and an SUV, and the pickup truck's a 4-door also, correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the big question. And Rich and I were talking about this off air a little bit when I told him you were coming on. What's up with the headlights?
You don't like them?
I don't. I
tell you what, the back of the truck or the sides of the truck are awesome. I'm not a big fan of the front end, and the front end is what sells. It's the grill. It's the teeth.
Right.
I mean, if I bought a Tesla, I'd take it to a body shop and paint a grill on the front end. It doesn't look right.
It needs to be.
I'll give you.
It needs to be meaner. It's almost like it's too cutesy.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 things at play there, and we're an electric car company. We don't need a grill, and it would be a little bit because we don't need to breathe in the air, right?
Sure.
Right.
So it would be a little bit disingenuous of us to put a big grill on there, and, like a fake, like having fake, air over the tires. It's fake cooling. It's not like don't do it.
And my Corvette's an old one. It's got teeth.
Right.
And I got a bar in my 57, and my new Chevy truck's got chrome from bottom to top.
Yeah, I think if you're in the chrome plating business right now, life is good. Yeah, there's a lot of business for you, and that seems to be happening more and more. At the moment, that's what's going on in that space. So we wanted to be, a little bit different and not be like everybody else, and make something signature that's ours, and that's our signature look.
But I do like the back. I like how you have the background wrap, the light, the sides look awesome. I said that was the only thing, and the interior actually looks pretty darn nice too. So trust me, Ron and I are just teasing you because we're huge supporters and would wish you nothing but the best, especially the fact that you're building these in Bloomington Normal.
Yeah.
In a state that needs jobs and good good industries. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
it feels good to be there.
And that is, so what's up with, here's the other thing. It's oval headlights, which originally I went, okay, oval headlights, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. But it's like, it just looks like it's missing something in the front.
Do you remember how it worked out for the Edsel?
The oval.
Yeah, but let me tell you this, everything has to move forward over time.
Sure.
And when we put, I would say it's a bit like looking at the old steam trains, and then when the electric trains came along, or the diesel trains, you all said, well, where's the smokestack? Doesn't look right without the smokestack.
Right.
Yeah.
Where's the steam coming out the top? That's not a real train unless it has a big, big chimney at the front.
Sure.
Yeah, we don't have to make them like that anymore. And when you put our truck next to something, that's current, whatever's current starts to look pretty dated, in all honesty.
Yeah, okay.
And yes, there's a movement, but we wanted to make people aware there was a movement. So we kept the proportions very traditional. You get that. It's a truck. I get it. But we want to do something to say, on your second look at your car, you say, oh, wait, that's not a truck. And then you go through that process. So that really works for us. And, it's like anything. Over time, when, I've been in the industry a long time, and I can remember a lot of movements and changes. And every time that change came in, the world said, this is a terrible thing. And then guess what? They all look like that now.
Yeah. So here's the thing that Rich and I would also like to do. You say it's not made for contractors, but we'd like to get a loaner from you and like to see if I can get all the tools from my van into the truck and see if we can go do a couple service calls and, a couple of jobs using the truck. We just need it for a week or so, and we'll try and load it up, put ladder racks on it and everything.
I need a new generator. So if we can see if your generator fits in the back of our truck, I'll drive it back to New Jersey. We could make it on a couple of charges, no problem.
There we go.
And I'll just keep the generator.
That's fine. That's fine. I can do that. And then we can also do the if you want a Generac, we can put up a Generac system and hook that up to your house. Whatever, we can do a little horse trade.
Man, did you just get way off topic?
You drive to my house and do all the things that my wife says I need to fix up.
Sure.
If you drive to my house, in the Rivian,
yes,
we'll give you the loan if you come and fix my house up.
Okay, so
there you go.
Now wait, we're bringing this full circle here, Michael. Okay, so Rich and I pick up the truck from Normal because it's right here in Illinois anyway. We load it up with our tools and equipment, and then we drive it to New Jersey. We fix your house, and there we go. There's a full test.
That's exactly right. Yes, if we can do that, we're all in.
See?
There's nothing unethical about that whatsoever. If anybody from Rivian,
well, at least because he committed public. So the Rivian SUV, that actually is a pretty sharp looking vehicle too.
Yeah.
It is. It is. We just took it out to Aspen, and it gave it its sort of world outside debut in Austin, and people were just stopping dead in the street because it's just got such great proportions. It just looks great.
Yes,
the cover stat I haven't told you about is horsepower. So both of these things are 800 horsepower.
Jeez.
And you say, what? And it's this big shift.
Right.
So you probably 350 was a big number. 500 horsepower was a big number. You had a 500 horsepower Mustang, was a nice thing.
Yeah.
And suddenly we're talking about 800 horsepower in an SUV. And whoa, that's a different thing. And then of course,
and they have no top end really because it's electric.
Right. And 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
Yeah. So no, it's a funny thing is I tell people that like my new truck has 6.2 liters, says it's 385 horsepower at 5,600 RPM. The thing redlines at 6,000, so it's useless.
Right.
In other words, I got to damn near blow the thing up to get maximum horsepower.
Michael McHale from Rivian, I appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Michael.
We got another break coming up.
Let me tell you one thing. 2 things. $62,000 starting price after federal tax. www.rivian.com. $1,000 order. If you put your money in now, you go to the front of the queue.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Michael.
Mighty House. Mighty House will return.
NARI of Greater Chicagoland's website, narichicago.com.
Now we can pull.
Now we can pull. Okay. He's gone already.
We've got Dimitri on line 2.
Okay.
Well, when we come back.
We never asked him. See, we didn't ask the Robbie question. How much?
He said 62,000.
Yeah, but at the end, he said he had to offer it up. We didn't ask
Yeah, but
him.
you know what? That's today's price.
Yeah.
It's not written in stone. It's the same thing with the other one, with the workhorse. They're saying 52, but that's, there's, you put a deposit on something that you don't know what the final price would be.
Right.
So they're doing the same thing, but my thing is, like the battery warranty. We could go on and on with this guy, and we'll have him on again.
Sure. I had to try and work a deal out there so we could at least try one, Rich.
And 800, with that amount of horse on that thing,
yeah,
I want to play with it. But
that's because they're electric. All electric vehicles are ridiculous like that. But the other thing is they have no top end. They're usually electronically controlled. They will just keep accelerating.
Yeah, they will go.